okay, once again, like always, I'm going to have to try to remember, like, what the hell horrible thing happened to me the last time we left off.
Actually, the last session we did, you only got raped by females. Actual, full, 100% females.
Well, what are you trying to say, man? That it doesn't get sucked because I'm a male?
Uh,
Jesus, you trying to be sexist already?
it gets a lot worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I told you, I'm rewatching The Wire. See, I saw that slasher film recently with Idris Elba, and I thought, oh man, he's from The Wire. I gotta go back and watch The Wire. And I remember there's one scene in prison, like everybody knows that Omar is gay,
Right.
and then the guy tries to shank him, so he does the Rorschach thing, turns the table on him, gets behind him, and he says something like, "Yeah, how now, we should make some babies together," or something to that effect.
Jesus. Yeah, that dude's fucked up. But I was telling you before, like, he was one of my favorite characters. Like, I genuinely liked that guy.
I think he was groomed to be the fan favorite.
Yeah, well, it worked. Like, at least as far as I'm concerned. Because there were a lot of really memorable characters in that series, though. Like, I mean, if you really thought about it, there were a shitload of them. Like, some of the cops had, like, what was his name? McNulty. That guy rocked. Like, I fucking love McNulty, especially when he gets all shit-faced and it crashes his car against the fucking... Yeah, that guy kicked ass. And, I mean, there was a lot of shit like it. Snoop was another one that I liked that I'm sure a lot of people did, but fucking Omar, just like that scene, like he had so many great scenes, like when he gets up in his like silk pajamas and they're like fucking him and his boyfriend are crashing that fucking abandoned house, and he's got that big ass 44, and he's like trying to figure out a way to put this ridiculously heavy fucking revolver into his silk pajama pants, and he can't do it, and he goes up to the store to get Honey Nut Cheerios. And that kind of shit. And he's walking down the street and everybody's terrified.
Yeah.
Omar's coming. Omar's coming. I mean, like, just that scene was so uneventful, but fucking awesome. It's just like why that show kicked so much ass.
They throw the bag of the capsules down.
yeah, that's right. He does go rob he does go rob like a fucking crack house while he's out for a Honey Nut Cheerios. Right. He said, I'm obliged to come up in there now. And they just drop it out of the fucking window. It took him a long time to instill that kind of fear in people. I'd say it was well earned.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here we are. And I was only raped by women, which, yeah, that is pretty important, I guess, especially considering the males that roam around on those mountains and shit. So, let's see. Maybe rest up a little bit and get the lust down. Is that necessary, or?
Well, right now it has to be at a certain level before you can meditate and bring it down. So what you can do is you can wait, and it goes up a little bit over time,
Okay.
and then we'll sleep. So okay, now it's high enough we can meditate, so we can kind of take advantage of that mechanic a little bit. So if it's in the 20 or 30 range, we can wait a little bit, then meditate.
All right, then. Well, let's start out with exploring once again. Let's see. Hit next. Let's go to the
now I want to make a mod for this where it's like desert, forest, mountains, West Baltimore.
Yeah, West Baltimore. No, fuck that. Couldn't mean any worse than Dickworm Mountain, though. Speaking of which, speaking of Dickworm Mountain, why don't we go ahead and head to the swamp?
Swamp?
Yeah. Yeah, I just
wanted to... shit.
Oh, fuck. What's... swamp.
This is a Drider. You've faced some of these before.
Yeah. Not gonna end well, I take it?
No.
Well, there's only one option.
Yeah. Okay, you're in a fight. It's level 15.
Christ, dude. What happened to that huge friendly dude?
You offended him.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. That's typical of me. Well, let's get the fuck out of here, man. Run.
Okay, you run. Oh, shit. First attack it uses is a speed debuff.
Well, in all fairness, she did see me try to run. So. Okay. This sucks. Keep running, because, like, that's my only defense at this point. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way.
Now she's taking my weapon?
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to use it, bitch. Dude, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
God damn it. Merciless.
So, yeah, you've been here before. I don't know if you remember.
Well, I mean, you know, all the rapes are just sort of a... It looks like I'm being impregnated again. So
Yep.
that's... Yeah. Right, come to your senses. And, you know, first of all, it's a little fucked up if you're going to get me pregnant that you rob me. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, fuck. Like, you're going to, like, you're going to need to pay me child support sooner or later anyway. So just, you know.
Yeah, that'd be... Well, I mean, if that were a system, that would just break the game. You'd end up with, you know, like, about 1 billion gems every, you know. You have, like, a little mailbox.
Yeah.
You have to get it on auto deposit at a bank in Taladre.
Oh, shit. At this point, I'd have to have one hell of an account. Oh, Christ.
All right. Well.
So I'm pregnant again.
Yep.
Again. This, like... Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll be pregnant again. It's just, it seems like there would be a limit to how many times I can get pregnant.
There isn't.
Like... Nice. Okay. Fuck it. Well, now that I'm pregnant, I need to get some exercise, so let's go explore again. Let's see. So, we discussed last time, I think, or at some point, that the top locations like Desert Forest Lake are a bit less taxing than Plain Swamp, Deep Woods, and such.
Yeah.
Is that the assumption? Okay, so let's hit the desert real quick, see what we can get into. Maybe less rapey. It's usually less rapey.
Wandering around, you come to a large anthill. If it hadn't been for the visions, you'd never have guessed anything like it. We could be hidden in such a harsh environment. Feel like you're being watched. 3 large ants burst out of the sand through a trap door. They're much bigger than the ant girl you saved. Okay, it describes them. They hold you at spear point. Okay, so they lead you down there. Okay, in the middle of this massive hub, sitting on a throne, is the only other female ant morph you've seen in Marith. The queen, blah blah blah, I'm Queen Kyla, do you understand this? It's only recently I've learned this pathetic thing you call by the name of language. Her tone is that of a monarch being forced to address a peasant. You've been sent to this land to resist the demons, and your efforts thus far, insignificant though they may be, have not escaped my gaze in saving my daughter Phyla. She pauses and gestures to the girl.
Okay, well, we're off to a good start. Maybe. Throwing daggers at her daughter, Shiloh's gaze, then guards. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
There's a whole thing happening.
Though I do not expect you to truly understand the opportunity you've been given, I will now explain how the trials from my daughter's hand will work.
Oh, now hold on a fucking second. Now there's trials for your daughter's hand. Like, I didn't say I wanted your daughter's hand. Some freaky fucking ants with spears scared me into coming down here.
So we've captured some of the fiercest creatures from the land, mainly for study, but they also serve as combatants and challenges. I've constructed an arena of sorts, and you have to defeat them. You know, it's interesting. Someone just linked in our shared Skype chat that a prison was running a fight club.
Really?
Yeah, they were forcing inmates to fight, and they enjoyed putting these real mismatches in. They'd put someone with, you know, like where there was a 50 to 100 pound difference in size.
Jesus. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, so it's... Oh, and a long time ago...
just a quick question about that. How the fuck did that work? Like, okay, they're going, we're going to beat you mercilessly and fuck with you if you don't get into the ring and with this guy and get beaten mercilessly and fucked with. Like, I don't know. Like, how do you, as like I assume this were prison guards that were doing this. Like,
yeah.
Right. Okay. So the prison guards are going, you better get into the ring with this guy or we're going to fuck you up. Like, he's going to fuck me up. So kiss my ass.
Yeah,
no.
It's choosing your poison.
Right. But, but then again, I'm thinking about it now, and we're talking about one fight versus perhaps months upon months of constant fucking harassment and assault, probably by by the guards. So yeah, god damn, that's fucked up. Anyway, what a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the plot of a game. Yeah, I saw this thing. I saw this thing a long time ago that someone also posted in the chat about this one prisoner who was running this. He was basically the leader of a gang. He was the leader of the gang on the outside, became a leader of a prison gang, right?
Yeah.
And he was dealing drugs in the prison. He had dealers outside dealing drugs. He had influence over the guards, and he had such influence over some of the guards that he actually impregnated 4 of the female staff at this prison.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, dude.
And it was this situation where, like, his cell door was always open. He could come and go as he pleased. He had the run of the place. And it just reminded me of, like, the player character in a video game, right? Like, before I was showing you that other game, right, where, you know, I said, here's all the territory I've taken over because I'm the player. So I'm just, you know, inherently better than all these NPCs. You know, that's what you do in a game. You're just the most competent person in the world.
And that's fascinating to me. Like, people that can, first of all, like, run drug empires and shit from jail.
Yeah.
That's pretty goddamn impressive.
But if you think about it, it's sensible. I mean, it's like your own personal fortress.
Well, that
assuming
part,
you
yeah,
have sufficient.
That's like right. That's one part of it, though. I'm talking about like the logistics of having people still be worried about you.
Yeah.
I mean, that means you have eyes and ears and muscle on the outside, fucking handling shit on your behalf without dipping into your shit, right? Or without trying to screw you over in some way.
Yeah.
Like if you're consistently making money and fucking selling product and you have no hands-on access to anything, right, that isn't brought to you, right? I mean, that's crazy to me. Like, you have to be like a fucking manipulative mastermind. And like this dude who impregnates 4 prison guards.
Yeah.
That's fucking uncanny, dude. It's like, you are like cult leader-esque at that point. Like, you may as well just fucking get an island, just move a bunch of retards out to it and fucking just start your own little tribe of idiots.
Well,
just
because it's almost exactly the plot of like a Grand Theft Auto type game. You know, you start off a nobody, and then you build your little empire, and then you start scoring with multiple women, and then like more and more people are under your influence and control. And it's like, because you're the player character, you're just a born leader. You're designated not, you know, just to win at everything. Right. With if you put in the time, but you start with nothing, and it's like that's this guy in this jail. You know, he starts in, he's just another inmate, and then he slowly builds up his power and influence over his people.
See, and what's fucked up is what's different about that situation for the inmate. Obviously, is that he starts out at a disadvantage. He doesn't just start out with nothing. He starts out with negative shit.
Yeah.
Right. Like everyone around him, by virtue of the fact that they're around him, have control over him. Right? That's like when he eats, when he can fucking go outside, everything is determined by the 4 women that he impregnated.
Yeah.
And he somehow like has the open cell, and he's got like the fucking candy bar, and he's got his feet propped up. I'm picturing this guy in a fucking bathrobe with a cigar hanging out of his mouth, and he just has the run of the place, and fucking like 4 of his kids are like going to be born there. Right? And nobody's going to say shit. I'm like, this is weird. Did nobody just go, no. If I say no again, I'm going to tase you. And then I'm going to throw you in the hole for a month. Because I can do that by just pointing. Right? You know, it's like, no. But nobody, that's fucking some crazy manipulative power.
Yeah. Well, he was buying him shit, too.
Like, I would want to interview him.
It started off, according to the story, as just straight up corruption, where he was bribing guards, male and female. But then he gained more and more influence as he became the quote-unquote sugar daddy to these female guards.
It sounds, you know what it does sound like? It sounds like an episode of Reno 911. It really fucking does. Like, I just see Officer Dangle, like, giving a speech about how convicted he is and how like how much respect he has for the law. And this in this prison, you're not going to corrupt us. You're not going to change our mind. You're not going to trick us with any of your criminal jibber jabber. You understand? And then like 20 minutes later, they're like all the fucking deputies are sitting around a table like with cocaine on their nose, like counting money, and the guy's like petting them like dogs, going, "That's right, bitches, count my money, count daddy's money." You know, I mean, it's just how the fuck did that happen so fast?
But in particular, it seems like the plot, because of the pregnancy theme and the fact that he's just having sex with so many of these female guards, it reminds me of like so many of like the really far out Japanese games that I've played.
Yeah.
Which I really need to start playing for the channel.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Except, yeah, there's actually after we've done COC for a while, I think we might play a game called Rant's Quest and some other stuff. I think we might just play some Japanese games that have that are either just straight up hentai or visual novels with hentai elements, and then just censor everything out with black bars so we don't get flagged. Hopefully, I have seen other people put up Rand's Quest or other kinds of hentai games, and as long as they put the black bars up, it seems like they're okay. But I mean, it's all a matter of whose attention you catch.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, if I could just start, if we were making more money from the channel, I could just start bribing employees at YouTube and possibly impregnating them in the process. You know,
yeah, just fucking sway them over to our side, dude. Who's the natural charismatic leader between the two of us that can fucking manipulate people? Maybe I don't want to get anybody pregnant, not anybody else.
Me neither. Yeah.
I don't want to fucking do that.
I'm not a drider in a swamp. I don't just fire and forget with the pregnancy
whoever
thing.
happens along. Yeah.
But you know, actually, that whole story about the guy in the prison, it was a bit kind of depressing for me, right? Because I got all these projects, right? I mean, I'm successful at what I do as my day job, but I'm always like just stressing over my internet bullshit, my little internet projects and the channel and indie games I'm making and all that bullshit. Right. And you know, it's like trying to start a fire with a wet match, and I'm struggling with stuff. And then I read this story, and I look at, and they said that the guy's age, and he was just a couple years younger than me. And I thought, man, this guy has just done so much with his life.
What? Hold on a second. Not really. I mean,
he has. He has.
Well, hold on a second. Like, hold on. He hasn't really done anything with his life so much as he has destroyed many other people's lives.
Come on. I mean,
he's having fun, but like, in order to have fun in his particular situation, you have to be the worst kind of fucking sociopath ever.
I can do that.
I had a feeling while that was coming out of my mouth that was the response. Like, fine, dude. That's what I'm saying. I want to be like him. Shit. No, but I mean, like, fuck that guy. Like, I hate that guy. Not what depresses me about the story, which, by the way, isn't the guy himself or the fact that he was so successful at it. It's the fact that he could be. That's what depresses me about the story, is that in that environment where you have fucking zero chance of achieving any sort of authority, he achieves this incredible amount. Like this far exceeds the authority of the guards and anyone else. And simultaneously, he's running a fucking drug empire on the outside where people are so afraid of him that they won't even rob him when he can't do anything about it directly, right? Like, he has to rely on other people to do it, and they know that they will. Like, the whole thing is fucked up, right? Like, it bums me out that people are so fucking dumb and can be so easily manipulated when it would only take really 3 people, one to go, shut the fuck up and get in solitaire for a month. Let's see if you change your tune when you get out, bitch. Right? Yeah. And then somebody else to go, let's just take all his money, and I'm taking all these corners too. Fuck that guy. He's not going to be able to do shit. Matter of fact, I'm going to go down to the prison tomorrow and bribe the guard to not let him out for an extra fucking whatever it is. And fucking, you know.
Yeah, but you know what? It all comes down to money. It all comes down to money.
Sure, but how do you even...
I told you I was rewatching The Wire, and I saw that scene with I remember that scene with Avon, and I tell you what, after you've watched the series once, and you know that Marlo is going to play such a major role in seasons 4 and 5, and then you go back, Avon is so much more likable
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah,
easy.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
like Avon
Arlo is a
seems like a
piece of
fucking
shit, but
teddy
yeah,
bear. He just seems like the nicest guy.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he
Yeah, and
does.
then he's sitting there, and Weebay comes in. He's like, "Hey, you want to get down on this?" And he's eating like this whole meal from KFC, that of course the guards bring him because he pays them,
Right, right.
right? And yeah, I mean that's yeah, there. You know, and the
Okay,
thing
I
is,
remember him now. I had to fucking actually remember who that was, but I do now. Okay.
yeah, uh, Weebay was the guy who he's sitting there. He's like, "Yeah, I'll confess to a couple more murders if you got some more coleslaw."
Yeah,
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 he's like,
and
"Yeah,
and
give me some more potato
and
salad and some
his
coleslaw."
kid, winds up in season 4 or some shit,
Yeah,
right?
that's right, with a ponytail. But yeah,
Right.
the guard comes back in. He's like, "Well, we got more potato salad, but we're out of slaw." And Weeby just goes, and he confesses anyway.
Yeah, I guess I'll do it for slaw. Fuck it.
But
Shit.
here's the thing: this is not a new phenomenon, right? This is not like some symptom of the modern era or the modern crime scene or anything like that. I was been reading this book. I've been reading this book called Water Margin. Although it's localized in English in some places, it's different things. Sometimes it's called Outlaws of the Marsh, but it's a book from like medieval China, right?
Right.
And this guy, he gets railroaded by this official that doesn't like him, and he's sent to jail on these trumped up charges. And in this prison, because it's China in the Middle Ages, they on your first day just beat the shit out of you. Like the guards strap you down and they hit you with a rod, and they hit you so many times that you're basically permanently injured and you're almost on the verge of death. And so he shows, but he has friends, right? He has a friend like this young nobleman who's really into martial arts who really admires him. So he's like, here, take the silver, and here's what's going to happen. You get there, you tell them this and that, and you give them the silver, and you tell them that there could be more on the way for them, right?
Yeah.
So he gets there, and this gigantic guard comes up, and he's like screaming in his face and trying to scare him and telling him he's going to get his shit beat out of him with this rod, and then he points to other people who are already fucked up because they got the same treatment, and every prisoner here gets there because the law is so harsh at this prison. And then the guy just minds his manners, gives the guard the money, and the guard says, "Wait, is this for me and the warden, or is this just for me?" He says, "Well, that's just for you. I have more for the warden." And then blah blah blah. My friend on the outside said he'll take care of that, right? And
Right.
so the guard, his demeanor suddenly changes, and he's like, "Oh, well, you know what? I, you are you injured at all?" He says, "Well, I did injure my foot while they were transporting me as a prisoner." He says, "Well,
Uh-oh.
I think we can defer your punishment considering that you're already not well." And so basically, they infinitely delay his caning, right? And
Right.
then the guy he's just like wraps his arm around him and says, "Come this way," and just treats him like completely differently, right?
Sure. Sure.
And what the guy says as he talks to himself, the prisoner, he says he's amazed at the reaction, and he says the ancient proverb is truly right and he quotes some poet or philosopher. He says, "Money can reach even the heavens."